What's up, mi gente? This is your host Andres, and I welcome you to Were You Listening? An exploration of blackness in the songs we love. Today, we'll be listening to Negra, interpreted by Soluna.
Were You Listening is a series of the Mixedtape podcast, which aims to center the contribution of Black people and culture across Latin America, the Caribbean, and their diaspora through dance and music. If you were looking to practice your bilingual skills, mira, si tú quieres practicar, there is also a Spanish version of this episode. Así que ve y lo escuchas en español también. Follow us on Instagram at mixedtape.podcast and click the link tree in our bio to find all of our episodes across platforms including Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
We're very thankful and excited today because we had the opportunity to talk to singer, songwriter, and producer based in Portugal, Soluna. And before she tells us about her background, I want to invite you to go listen to her infectious Afro-Latin music, deliciously infused with Latin American, Caribbean, and African sounds. I personally recommend today's song, of course, Negra, but also the songs Flaca and Abajo. Really great stuff. And also follow her on social media to keep up with her creations. Okay, so Luna, why don't we get things started with your background?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for this. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, also performer. I dance a little and stuff. And I've been studying music since I'm 14 years old. Never went to a music school, but I had individual teachers. And always I wanted to learn how to make compositions and express ideas. It was not about specifically singing or specifically playing the guitar. It was more about being able to make a song, pass an idea. That's why afterwards I started producing my own songs as well. I wanted to be able to put out whatever I felt I needed to say. I feel Soluna, talking in third person, and just an independent artist trying to translate this mix background of cultures, my father being Argentinian, my mom being from Angola, but I grew up in Europe. So yeah, it's many different things and feelings and connections. And yeah.
Salpícate porque yo aplico mi propia ética. Busco mi camino, paso a paso voy al cimo. No me queda rato pa' joderme, ya contigo viene piolo. Explícame el arte, no me estreses. Chingones a la caprese, sale fácil. Práctica más aborreciente.
Given that multicultural background, do you sing in the three languages, Spanish, English, and Portuguese?
Yes, mainly I sing and compose in Spanish, but I also put little bits, some bars in English or some bars in Portuguese. To connect, with the different parts of my cultures and everything.
What about your name, Soluna? Is it your first name or is it your artistic name?
It's actually my real name. First name being Sol, last name being Luna. And when I started with this project, I was like, okay, maybe what if I take an L out and I just put it as a brand name, like Adidas or Nike, and I think it works. It actually feels nice to be called Sol all the time. It's a nice name.
The sun and the moon both in one name. That's really beautiful. In today's song, Soluna mocks the mocker, as she puts it. She uses a catchy rhythm to jokingly sing and rap about moronic, dim-witted, obtuse, and unintelligent people who mock and disrespect blackness. Let's listen. o a, me llamaron negra. E o a, me vale verga. E o a, they call me negra. E o a, I don't give a damn. I gotta say I'm surprised because you have this super calm, mellow energy, but the song is pure fire. And it starts hitting strong from the beginning. So, Soluna, who are the ones calling you negra and why don't you give a damn?
Well, this song is like so many things to say about the trip that this song was. I made this song all together with Mari Segura. She's a singer-songwriter from Colombia. She helped me with the lyrics. And then the producer is called Toti Samed. He's from Angola. So this really felt like an Afro-Latin, like from my, even though Mari is from Colombia, like she's like Latin side. So I really felt something when doing this song. The main inspiration for it, and specifically these lines, it was from a clip from Victoria Santa Cruz. She has a clip saying, "Me gritaron negra." And that really rang the bell. And when I was working on like making the song with Toti. And also made me remember like an episode from my school days when I was living in Barcelona growing up with my mom. Like in school one day, like a kid was like, negra, and he was mocking my mom and was mocking me because, she was really dark skinned and I'm like half dark skin or whatever. And I came back home and my mom and I was like, almost crying, like, Mom, in school, they said you were black and they call me black. And like African moms, like they be like washing the dishes, doing whatever, they will pay you no attention. So this was no exception. I was hoping for like some comfort and like for it to be some sort of like national emergency or something. She was just doing whatever and she told me, I am black, you are black, and your dad is white. Can you just get out of the way? I'm doing some stuff. And she completely deconstructed the weight of the words, because you only feel mocked if you take it as a mockery, if you give the power to the words. That's what she taught me in a really this pretentious way, and that's the way I took it from there on. So when I say EOA me llamaron negra, EOA me vale verga, I'm mocking that, I'm mocking the mocker. I don't know if I can say that. So it's like laughing about it, because actually, yes, I am, and I really don't care, and I should not feel offended, and I do not, and nobody should be feeling offended nowadays. It is real that words have power and the intention behind them can hurt you. I don't take that away, but it's not something bad to be black. So why would you feel bad? What I feel is just like the ignorance behind, those intentions and the subject of the preaching.
Piedras que tiren las voy a esquivar, no me van a tocar. Tranquilo papi, yo ya no me dejo frenar. Quisieron callar la voz de mi pueblo y ahora se sientan para escucharme decir. Ya no pesa más, lo que represento me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir.
Las piedras que tiren las voy a esquivar, no me van a tocar. Tranquilo papi, yo ya no me dejo frenar. Quisieron callar la voz de mi pueblo y ahora se sientan para escucharme decir. Ya no pesa más lo que represento, me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir. The stones they throw at me, they won't touch me. Don't worry bro, I won't let them stop me. They wanted to shut the voice of my people up, and now they have to sit down and listen. Cause it doesn't weigh on me any longer. All that I represent encourages me and helps me keep going. I also want to thank you, Soluna, because folks, she actually helped me making sure that the translation into English was capturing the right meaning as it's intended in Spanish, which is great because sometimes it's really hard to fully get what the composer really intended. I really appreciate it. Now tell us about these lyrics, Soluna. What are they referring to?
Here, like when I say like las piedras que tiran, so I'm talking here about what I was saying before, like they be throwing these words full of intentions as if they were stones at me, but they won't hit me because they're hypothetical stones. I do not believe they are stones. So they just get here and it's just like you laugh at it, you know? And then I'm like, chill, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. Maybe it hurt before, some generations before, that maybe people from my Black side of the family, they felt hurt by it. I don't think my mom, because she really had it clear. But for me, like it just doesn't hit. And then I say like they will have to sit down and listen to me say these words. Because I'm a singer and I have a microphone and I have a stage and my voice is amplified. And the song is catchy as fuck. So you will dance to it and you will be like also laughing and normalizing an idea, like, me llamaron negra, me vale verga. That's the power of like kind of like pop kind of approach to the problematics of that we have society-wise. Like I like the idea of dancing to it, but having a good message behind it that sticks to your brain because the melody is catchy,
Cuento con la actitud, yo sé lo que soy y tú ocupo una frase para quebrar tu tabú. No me llamen antipática, yo tengo métricas. Salpícate porque yo aplico mi propia ética. Busco mi camino, paso a paso voy al cimo. No me queda rato pa' joderme, ya contigo viene piolo, explícame la...
Cuento con la actitud, yo sé lo que soy. ¿Y tú? Ocupo una frase para quebrar tu tabú. No me llamen antipática, yo tengo métrica. Salpícate porque yo aplico mi propia ética. Busco mi camino, paso a paso voy al cimo. No me queda rato para joderme ya contigo. I count on my attitude. I know what I am. Do you know what you are? I need only one sentence to break all your taboos. Don't call me unfriendly. I got bars. Get out of here, because I move by my own morals. I search for my way. Step by step, I go to the top. I don't have time to waste on you. Here you speak about a taboo. Tell us about that taboo and these lyrics we just heard.
Here I'm talking about that supposedly the person who's gonna approach someone who's Black and be mocking them, saying like, you Black, they're expecting you to put yourself in the position of like, oh, that was an attack, and feel like a victim of something or feel attacked. And when I say I occupy like a sentence just to like deconstruct all that, I'm referring back to the chorus when I say me llamaron negra y me vale verga. So I say that, when you're explaining stuff to like children, you cannot develop too much because they won't understand. So I'm presuming that the abuser in this sense, they're ignorant. So you need to make it very short, So that's why I say that phrase is like I'm mocking them back. Like I'm going to explain it very short to you because you clearly are not too intelligent. So yeah.
No me queda rato pa' joderme, ya contigo viene piolo, explícame el arte. No me estreses, chingones a la caprese. Sale fácil, patica más aborreciente, más caliente. Plato frío no lo come ni perro ni siente.
Viene piolo a explicarme el arte. No me estrese, chingones a la caprese. Sale fácil. Platícame algo reciente, más caliente. Plato frío no lo come ni perro ni gente. Comes around all cocky, trying to explain me art. Don't stress me out. You're a Capri salad, so simple. Tell me more recent stuff, something hotter. A cold dish, not even a dog wants to eat it. You use the word piolo in the song, which I didn't know what it meant in Spanish, so I looked it up and I found in the official dictionary of Spanish expressions from the Americas that in Cuba, the word piolo refers to a Black person who only wants to have romantic relations with white people. Go figure, I had no idea there was a word for this. But also, that's not the meaning you were using here. Tell us about this word and about this part of the lyrics.
I'm developing on that phrase, like, ocupo una frase para quebrar tu tabú, and I'm continuing to mock the mocker. So that's like you're just making fun of them, saying that they are so basic that they're as basic as a caprese salad, it just has like tomato and iceberg thingy, like it's just very basic. And yeah, like just like mocking them over and over because of like how stupid it sounds to be trying to be mocking someone for their heritage and their genetic characteristics, And when I used the word piolo in that sense, piolo, that word specifically does not exist. I just like made it up because why not? The power of songwriting. The word normally is like piola. Todo piola is like all good. So when I say viene piolo, I'm saying like comes all cocky, comes all cocky trying to explain me something, and I use it that way.
Plato frío no lo come ni perro ni quiero callar la voz de mi pueblo y ahora se sientan para escucharme decir ya no pesa más lo que represento me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir.
Quisieron callar la voz de mi pueblo y ahora se sientan para escucharme decir ya no pesa más lo que represento me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir. They wanted to shut the voice of my people up, and now they have to sit down and listen, because it doesn't weigh on me any longer. All that I represent encourages me and helps me keep going. Now, regarding the rhythm of the song, it has a very catchy beat that I found somewhat familiar. Somehow it reminded me of the Festejo Afro-Peruvian rhythm. How did you and your team come up with this beat?
So about the rhythm, I did the song with Toti Samed, right? He's from Angola. He grew up there. And I met him here in Portugal. And we were working on the song, and it was asking for Afrobeat. But it was asking a little bit also for like acoustic elements. So we went searching for them. And we ended up in this polyrhythm that I don't know where to put it or how to classify it. I have a sister-in-law. She's from Bolivia, and she told me that this made her remember something from the Afro-Bolivian rhythms. And I said, interesting. I had no idea. Me and Toti just like completely went off for like, what would it sound like to be Afro-Latin? Like just from like his cultural background from like Afro rhythms. And in Angola, they breathe a lot of like Cuban culture also. Maybe because of the Civil War, Cuba was like really helpful, and yeah, we have a good relationship with Cubans. And so that's a lot that's there, so like with Toti, we kind of like looked for this place of like, like feeling the chaka 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 chaka. It's like, yeah, it literally sounds Afro-Latin, not only Latin, not only African, because just Latin is completely different. Just African is completely different. Here is really like many, many centuries, years of like the cultures being mixed and then developing into something really unique and new that normally it's looked at more as like Latin rhythms directly. Like when people labeled it, they will more easily label it as Latin than as Afro.
Now, your bio says that you are preparing a new album to launch in 2025. What are your listeners going to encounter in your new album?
Ooh, exciting. So for this album, I try to go a little bit deeper, a little bit more personal. Till now, I feel like I've been exploring a lot like collaborations with artists from all around the world a little bit. Like I have songs with Portuguese artists, with Spanish artists, with Catalan. I'm gonna be releasing some song with like Argentinian artists as well, like very soon. So like I'm trying to like bring to my platform people from my different cultures, you know. I also have with a Angolan rapper, like just, you know, showing and connecting and making understand, like showing people how they can connect to my messages. And till now, my songs have been about like, you know, like celebrating life and being happy. Because I feel as I don't know, many boxes I fit in, you know, like mixed. Specifically, that one is like the one I'm most like vocal about. Because when I go to Angola, people also ask me where I'm from. When I go to Argentina, people are also like, okay, you were born in Quilmes, but like you're darker than like the average Porteño citizen. So like, where you from, you know? And then I always have to explain myself. And it's something that I'm okay with. Like, it's just gonna be like that because that's what happens with mixed people. You have parents that look very different and you're gonna look different than them. You're not even like the same as them. So you're a specific thing. Um, and so all the songs that I've been doing till now that I'm releasing like singles, and I have an EP called Gano, and it's called Gano because it's like imperative, like Gano in the present, in the past, and in the future. It's just like a statement of positivity, because I feel it's something that I personally was lacking all my life, you know, like just like not taking my art too seriously. Because when I look, you know, and I move around many different countries, but I see this like normally artists that are from those countries or are normally white or whatever, or more most accepted or whatever, they don't need to be justifying their art as much, you know? They can just be like on an interview, they can just be like, the questions they will get is like, when did you start doing music? And they will be like, when I was 4 years old, my mom, you know? And it's just like, that's beautiful. I'm not trying to criticize, but I feel that I also need to enjoy art and not make a big deal out of it, because we don't need necessarily to be political about our existence just because people, you know, just putting a light tone to it. I don't say that I don't like to talk about stuff that matters. With Negra, we can see that. But, you know, with a smile in my face and just like making people dance, and people that connect with my message, probably from all my different communities, which is like almost all the communities that can be. So, you know, like it's just like, let's celebrate life. And now with this next album, I felt the need of going a little bit deeper. Maybe not a sadder tone, but a more serious one, talking about stuff that maybe people don't know about me, you know, and I wanted to make them know a little bit more of Soluna, because she's all about partying and laughing and dancing, but she also has feelings, she also has things to solve, she also has a family that lives far, far away, like 14 hours and, you know, flying. So all these things, I needed to put them out for also people to connect with, you know, that thing of being an immigrant and living far away and missing home.
I feel like this is a serendipitous moment because the name of our podcast, Mixtape, also comes from the fact that Melissa, the other presenter of the podcast, and myself, we are both mixed-race Afro-Latinos who celebrate and honor our Black roots. And with that said, before you leave us, Soluna, I have to ask you, since we are lucky to have you here with us, would you mind singing a bit of the song for our audience?
Me llamaron negra, me vale oh, ah. Las piedras que tiren las voy a esquivar, no me van a tocar. Tranquilo papi, yo ya no me dejo frenar. Quisieron callar la voz de mi pueblo y ahora se sientan pa' escucharme decir. Ya no pesa más, lo que represento me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir. Oh, ah, me llamaron negra. Oh, ah, me vale verga. Oh, ah, me llamaron negra. Oh, ah.
How about that? We got a little concert from Soluna, guitar included and everything. What a treat! Soluna, we are very, very grateful to you for gifting us with your art and talking to us about your trajectory, your song that we contextualized today, and your upcoming projects. I also want to thank the Mixedtape podcast team, my co-host Dr. Melissa Bilotas, who edited this episode, and Susan Maicarcio, who creates the graphics for the episode. And to our audience, thank you so much for being here with us today. I am your host, Andres Hincapié, and if you weren't listening, now you are.
Lo que represento me llena de aliento y me impulsa a seguir. Oh, ah, me llamaron negra.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. To hear today's song or other songs featured on the Were You Listening series, check out the Were You Listening playlist, which can be found at our brand new website, themixedtapepodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at mixedtape.podcast, as well as Twitter and YouTube, which are easily accessed through our website. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for our posts. This episode was sponsored by Orange County Arts Commission. Thanks for listening. This is Mixedtape.